Brooklyn, New York. Woo! Woo! Canarsie, anybody? Yeah, and when I was 23 years old, I signed up for a 6-month work-study program that was to take place on what's called a kibbutz in Israel. I had actually a very interesting flight to that country. On the last leg of the trip, which was from England, I sat next to a nun. And she gave me what she felt was her best advice. She said when I was in the country, I would be tempted. That's what she said. And that I should try very hard to remain celibate. I thanked her, I was being polite, but I was thinking to myself, she said, remain celibate. What made you think I already was? Hypothetically speaking, if that was true, it was not by choice, so I'm glad I cleared that out. Now, on my first day on that kibbutz, I was walking to the building that would be my home for 6 months. And a beautiful girl saw me approaching and told someone she was with, I bet he's from Brooklyn. Now, we didn't know each other. We hadn't even met. It turns out she was from Brooklyn, too. Her name was Mindy, and a year and a day later, we actually would be married. Woo! If we had met in Brooklyn, that wouldn't have happened. She was more of the hippie-dippy type. It was 1971. And I was considered at the time a square. Think of a geek or a nerd. And to show you how much of a square I appeared to be, we had a group meeting soon after the program started with a social worker. And right in the middle of the meeting, she pointed to me and said I was probably the only one in that group who can get through customs without being checked. That was a horrible thing to say. It was true. It was horrible. Here I am, a square, trying to fit in with these hippies. That was almost fatal to me socially. I still don't know how I got by that one. Now, even though I knew Mindy from the first day, we weren't together right away. And how we did get together is, for me, the greatest story ever told. My apologies to any Bible students who are here. It turns out Mindy and another girl had this little contest going on who could seduce me first. Yeah. And on a particular night, one of them, only one, would knock on my door. I never thought I'd be in this position. Never. And even thinking about it now, I'm getting a little excited. But that's okay. So this particular night, I heard, and with all due respect to the other girl, who was very nice, I'm glad it was Mindy, and yada, 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 we were a couple. A few months later, we were married in her parents' home in New York, and within 6 years, we had 3 children and were living, for some reason, in Connecticut. My wife, we were married for 13 years. My wife did pass away a few years ago, and she was perfect in every way except for one thing. Not one day, or not 1 second of that 13 years did she ever think I was funny. Can you believe it? I think a couple of you do, but... And if she were here tonight and heard any of you laughing at anything that I said, she probably would have yelled out, "Don't encourage him!" And with that in mind, I would like to close with a joke my wife made up. Whenever she thought of something funny, she thought it was hysterical. You tell me. She woke up one morning and told me she had a horrible nightmare. She dreamt that she was being chased by ostriches. And I said, well, okay. And so I asked the obvious question, what happened? And she says, I don't remember, I was ostracized. See, I knew I was funny. Okay, my name is Kay Heller, thank you.